Hello students, welcome to Shorapsa's classes. So in today's lecture we'll be talking about a topic from international economics. So in today's lecture we'll be talking about Marshall-Lerner condition. So we'll make 3 videos on Marshall-Lerner condition. First, in this video, the first one we'll talk about the basics of Marshall-Lerner condition and what are the assumptions we make in terms of Marshall-Lerner. Then in the next video we'll talk about Marshall-Lerner condition in details, and finally in the third video and the last video we'll talk about the derivation of Marshall-Lerner condition. So in these 3 tutorials, first tutorials we'll start with the basics of Marshall-Lerner condition. So we know the effect of a devaluation on trade balance. So what is Marshall-Lerner condition? We know the effect of a devaluation on trade balance can be decomposed into 3 factors. So we know the effects of a devaluation of trade balance. We know the effects of devaluation of trade balance. So effect of devaluation could be decomposed into 3 factors. So I'm expecting you guys know what is devaluation. So if you do not know what is devaluation, you can refer to the other videos that we made on international economics. There you will find the understanding of devaluation. So now I'm expecting that you have an idea of devaluation. So I'm proceeding further with the effect of the devaluation. So the effect of devaluation can be decomposed into 3 factors. First, we know it is fall in import. Then the second factor is rise in export. And the last one is deterioration of terms of trade. Why? So we know it to be deterioration of terms of trade. So this is due to rising exchange rate. So devaluation is what? It is rising exchange rate. So now we'll get into the explanation of these 3 terms and how these things are affected due to devaluation. First, devaluation does what? First, devaluation reduce the volume of import. So first does what? Devaluation reduce volume of import and thus foreign exchange spending. Volume of import thus foreign exchange spending. Thus foreign exchange spending. And so the rectangular area that we are going to draw now. So the rectangular area. Suppose for an example, if we draw a diagram here, if you draw a diagram here, so on this diagram we know if you draw it for the import, so here if you extend the line like this, so Here on the horizontal axis we measure price in foreign currency. In the vertical measure, we measure price in foreign currency, and on the horizontal we measure import. On the horizontal we measure import, which is denoted by M. Now here, as you can see, the rectangular area, this rectangular area is what? This rectangular area becomes smaller. So it was initially like this, now it has become smaller. So this factor has a favorable effect on terms of trade. So as import falls, it has a favorable effect. So we have to remember what? As import falls, what happens? Our spending also falls. Our spending also falls. So it has a favorable effect on it has a favorable effect on balance of trade. Now, devaluation also increases the volume of exports. Devaluation also increases devaluation also increases the volume of export. So, and the last one, any given volume of export earned less than foreign exchange than before, since their normal prices is fixed in domestic currency. This factor has an adverse effect on BOT. So any volume of export earned. So the last one we know, any volume of export earned less currency or less exchange, or to be more accurate, less exchange than before, less foreign exchange than before, since their normal price is fixed in domestic currency. Since their normal price is fixed so this factor has an adverse effect on BOT. So this is why we say this factor has an adverse effect on BOT. So there is deterioration of terms of trade. So we have demonstrated these three things. Now we know the net effect of devaluation on export revenue in terms of foreign currency is not clear. The size of rectangular area, which is this, may either increase or decrease depending on the elasticity of demand for import or export. If the demand response is insignificant, export proceed may actually fall. So if the demand for export, the demand response if insignificant, then export proceed may actually fall. Then export proceed may actually fall and yet be outweighed by reduction in input, so that overall BOT may improve. However, if the response of import demand is insignificant, however the response of import demand is insignificant, then balance of trade will actually deteriorate. So this is what the Marshall condition is all about. Now we'll further go that if finally we assume that the economy is initially in a position of balance of trade. So say now we assume initially the economy is in a position of balance of trade, which is x equals to m, and the necessary and sufficient condition for devaluation to improve BOT or for foreign exchange market is to stable is what? It is Marshall-Lerner condition. So now devaluation can only be effective when it holds Marshall-Lerner condition. So now what I'll do is I'll simply write down this Marshall-Lerner condition. In this case, the price level fixed in each country in short run, the exchange rate is virtually the price of foreign good in terms of domestic good. So we know that is the exchange rate is virtually what? It is the price of foreign good is the price of foreign goods in terms of domestic goods. In terms of domestic goods. Now we know the exchange rate is virtually the price of foreign good in terms of exchange goods. So the condition for successful devaluation would be, elasticity of export plus elasticity of import must be greater than 1. So elasticity of export plus elasticity of import must be greater than 1. So devaluation, as we know, so we know that is where EX and EM are elasticity of demand for export and import. So this is what? This is elasticity of demand for export. We know here EX is elasticity of demand. Export, and EM is for import. Now we know, for example, if the price elasticity of demand for export is equals to 1, now if price elasticity of demand for export is equals to 1 and devaluation leaves the export revenue unchanged in foreign currency, which is because the second and third factor described above cancel out. Then the import demand has any price elasticity, the devaluation reduces imports, thereby improving trade's balance. So in today's video we talked about the basics of Marshall-Lerner condition. If you have any query or doubt regarding what we talked about, you can simply WhatsApp me on this number, which is 9836793076, or you can also go to our website, which is given by www.showroadsearchclasses.com. There you will find a lot of other videos like this, and you will also get to see a lot of other materials which are needed for different entrance exam. So thank you for watching this video and have a nice day ahead.